Still rolling?
No, hang on a minute.
Okay.
Good summer?
Yeah, how about you? Good.
It's been hot. Very hot. I've been
Yeah,
playing
man.
tennis and it's kind of miserable, but it could be worse. So.
Yeah.
Good.
Hopefully fall is on its way.
Okay. Guys in back, good. Dean, good. All right, guys, we're going to open it up now for questions for head coach Jerry Stackhouse.
Can you kind of take us through the, re-recruitment of Tyron and how you guys were able to get him back?
Well, no, I think it's just the new landscape that we're in. I think guys are going to find a way to get to your guys. I mean, it's a business of retention now. You know, I think I don't know how long that's going to last, but that's where it's at right now. You got to try to do all you can to retain your own players and not allow other teams just to come in and poach your development. We've developed. Tyron's gotten better every year since he's been here, and we just can't allow those type of assets to walk away. So I mean, we were able to do what we needed to do to get him back into the fold. But I mean, I thought he was good. He was smart. I mean, he went out and kind of he never was really going to understand what the market was for him until he jumped in the portal. I know everybody kind of got alarmed about that. We did too. But I think it's just even though it's just about trust and understanding that, man, you've been here with us from day one, and we want what's best for you. And I think he ultimately understood that. His mom understood that. We were, in lockstep the whole way with both of them. But he wanted to, kind of test the waters from a NBA standpoint. Wanted to get to camp, kind of see how all of that stuff works. And I understand that. I mean, that's the ultimate goal for a high-level athlete like that, to play at the highest level. So I totally understood that. And I think you had to kind of jump in the portal to, like I said, to create, what market, figure out what other teams were saying. And once we knew that, then we tried to be creative and find a way to work with Anchor Impact to get him, a situation that feel like it's comparable to someone who has the, kind of the stature and the, what he's done over the time. I mean, he established himself as one of the best, wings in our conference last year, and I think that even though he wasn't necessarily on an all-conference team, he played at an all-conference level, and we anticipate him garnering those type of accolades this year round. So we were happy to get him back. A little bit of recruiting. We went to Chicago and saw him when he was up at the combine. Just put our arms around him. It was tough for him too, because I know he knows that people in this program has been really, really good to him. I mean, whether it's our chief of staff, Adele Harris. I mean, she loves herself some Tyron Lawrence. So that's why I call him, Chief's baby. Brandon, when he had the tore his ACL, just the bedside manner that it takes to keep a athlete like that confident, and all the work that goes into getting back. So we built some some real value there with just what I like to call it, just emotional value, from all of the things that we've done, not only on the court but away from the court as well. So it was really good to get him back into the mix, and we're excited about him and Ezra probably coming into the season probably as the most might be the most experienced backcourt in the league. So that's something that hopefully we can build off, and we've added some pieces that we feel that can enhance what we've done over the past couple seasons.
Going off that question, with the tampering and everything that goes on in college basketball, how hard is it to build a roster? If you were made commissioner of college basketball, what kind of things would you change?
I just think there's a lot of things that could be changed. I mean, you just wish that everybody, were good actors and acted above board, but it's just not the climate that we're in. Not everybody, but there's always a few bad actors that spoil it for everyone, and it's consistent some of the same ones, but it is what it is. For us, we just got to continue to do what we do, and find the right guys. I mean, I just don't think that our guys, that Vanderbilt guys, aren't for everyone. And I think we have to understand that people are going to try to come and get our guys because they've gotten better and they feel like they can help improve their team. But at the same time, we got to be a great fit for us too. It works both ways. I mean, I think when it comes down to some of our guys that once they went out and kind of found their market, they probably had more value for other teams than they necessarily had for us. So I mean, that's just the reality of it. And I think especially with the emergence of some of our young guys, it was beginning to feel crowded, and I think some guys sensed that, and that's okay. I mean, we're not going to retain everybody. But I think the positive of the transfer portal is we're able to go back and replace those guys with guys that can come in and play right away and not have to sit out a year and things like that. So I don't really have a problem with anything. I just look forward to getting back on the basketball court, which we've had a great summer so far. We got a really good group of serious guys that want to get better. I mean, our freshmen, incoming freshmen, have been really impressive with their approach, and it's normally, maybe coach goes away for a day and you have to come back. The coaches are like, "Come on, coach is gonna watch this film." You get none of that with with these guys. I mean, they're serious and they want to get better, and we're excited about really getting started.
You went with more of a freshman-heavy approach. A lot of schools in this league around college basketball don't do that. Is that shift in? I guess it's not a shift for you because it's what you want to do, but is that sort of more of that's the way we want to build our program with guys out of high school, or is that more of other people are going to the portal, and so maybe you get some undervalued opportunities in the high school market if you're working hard?
Yeah, I think our approach is trying to find balance within the roster. Again, this is a little heavier, freshman class than probably we would normally have. But now it's about, again, retaining them. You bring in 5, you bring in 6. I mean, you're doing, most cases, you're doing good if you retain 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them. And it sounds crazy, but it's just the reality of it because of where we are. But hopefully that all this stuff will kind of stabilize itself over time. I don't think it's a model that can last, long term. But until that happens, we have to, play the cards that dealt us, and we're comfortable doing that.
The transfers, it seems like offensively could really complement what Ezra and Tyron do. How much of an emphasis was getting guys who fit really well around them as opposed to not really worrying about what conference or whatever they're coming from and like fit?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we've been fortunate. We've had guys that have come in and be able to, really show some upside and show some potential in their freshman years. I mean, we play guys, right? So I mean, I think Paul Lewis and Colin Smith, their emergence, kind of changed things. Changed things from our outlook of the guys that we have coming in. And like I said, we had a balance. We had freshmen. We still went out and got a couple of grad transfers. Evan Taylor, the way he can, shoot the basketball, and it's just his size. We've seen him compete on the defensive end. I had a little setback at the beginning of the summer with some concussion. Tame got hit in the head, missed a little bit of time, but he's fine now. Tassos is kind of a stretch 5. That's a really tough matchup for guys. I mean, we haven't really had somebody to stretch it, as well as he is. Lim shot the ball pretty good, but I think overall you just look at the percentages from Tassos and how he's shot the ball and how he's improved every year. We're excited about what he can bring to us at that spot. Vin Allen Lubin, that's a great model right there. I think that's one of the ideal models. So you get a guy that's kind of been on campus for a year And now that he's has his one-time transfer, he's kind of locked into us a little bit, and because I don't think guys really want to go sit out anywhere. So that's a positive for us, and I just think he's a talent that can do some things for us that we just haven't had. From the standpoint of can play some five. I think his natural position is a 4, but I think he has the upside to possibly at the next level trend toward a 3. But I just think he gives us a really good insurance piece. I mean, Lee Dort had a situation this summer where he did something to his foot, so he's out for an amount of time. We're gonna have a little bit more information on that Friday once he gets a scan again, but could be closer to the season before he's back full speed. But I think it was just kind of a blessing, though. I mean, obviously had the situation in the summer. I mean, last year that kept him out for a large part of the season, and then he came back right around the conference tournament. But I just didn't feel comfortable, putting him out there. Everybody was like, "Oh, Lee's back," but I just, it was like he was 80% healed, and that's. As a coach, it's not a number. It might sound good to a doctor or trainer, but it doesn't sound good to me. I like 100%, 95% of it, and then when he did, worked out, he didn't really do anything in the spring workouts, and went and got into a run, and something happened, so we had to have surgery and get all those things together. But he's in a good spot now, and but we miss his size. We obviously. Without Quentin, and we definitely miss that size right now. It's a different type of style that we can play, which I'm intrigued about and I'm excited about how we can really space the floor, and how teams can have problems guarding us, but for us rebounding the basketball and being able to defend size. I think there's some things that we can do from scheme-wise as far as trapping the post and doing those different things. But I think we got Carter Lang is a guy that is most really skilled. Can handle the ball out on the perimeter. Is a good passer out of the post. But he's young. He's a freshman. You just don't know what you're going to get from those guys when the lights come on in Memorial and at 7:30, or you're in a hostile environment on the road in the SEC. We feel good about it. There's a lot of upside there, but at the same time, you just don't know. So it's good to have that experience of guys that have done it before. And so I think pickups like Evan and Tassos are great for us. And we're always going to try to save room for that. Even though we know we're losing 4 guys next year, you try to think about adding a point guard, which we did in Tyler Tanner, looking to add another wing. Look to add another front court guy, and then save one for the portal. So I think that's just a new model.
Is it fair to say, obviously you haven't played a game yet, but this seems like this might be your best shooting team you've had since you've been here?
Yeah, they've had some days where they really shot the ball well, man. And then on Friday, it kind of changed. So so it's like but that just shows the fatigue of a long week. But no, these guys. I mean, Jason Rivera is this kid that again, obviously he's a pretty special kid. He's starring in a TV show on Apple and doing all this thing. But he's a really good basketball player that I think our fans are really going to enjoy seeing. Malik Presley. He's been really good on the defensive end. He's still learning, obviously making mistakes. I mean, Isaiah West, his approach to basketball is serious, and I love his focus. Jaquaylin Roberts, JQ. I mean, just the type of athletes that we've been talking about having here. Not only is he a good basketball athlete, he's a track athlete. So it's great to have those guys, in the mix now. I'm missing somebody too. I mean Jordan Williams. I mean, that was just an unbelievable turn of events that we could get a guy like that who, just because of his academic prowess, he's able to come here and get in here on his own, and we were able to find some NIL opportunity for him. It's just some positive, some really good talent out there on the court to go with the nucleus that we have. Coming back with Tyron, Ez, Colin, Paul, those guys that really know what's going on and have been around here. So it is probably the best group that we've seen just overall. But again, on paper it doesn't matter. You have to perform on the court, and so we got to continue to prepare for that.
You mentioned the turn of events with Jordan. Can you expand on that a little bit?
No, I think Jordan was. Jordan's been great for us, over these last 4 years. He had a bunch of, he had some highs and lows and ups and downs, none bigger than the game that he had in Kentucky. But, again, I just think it was time. I think the beautiful thing about Jordan is he graduated, and I felt good about that, the fact that he, was able to go back home, go to Baton Rouge, be able to take advantage of what he's been able to build here from just an equity standpoint and parlay that into a nice NIL deal for himself. Again, like I said, maybe having more value in other situations than necessarily he had with us, because of the new pieces that we have coming in and just the emergence of some of the younger guys that we had. But I'm really thankful for those guys and what they contributed to where we are right now. We obviously we're not ultimately where we want to be. We want to be a NCAA tournament. We came a little bit short of that last year, but we're not there without Jordan Wright. We're not there without Quentin Millard-Brown. We're not there without Miles Studi. Obviously, his departure was a little wasn't the best in terms of how we would have liked for it to happen. But again, it's not a perfect world. Nobody in this room is a perfect person. So I just think we just have to, roll with the punches sometimes. But but that is probably the most disappointing piece of it, because I would love to have seen. I think that's what I just sold on Tyron. Like, man, after this season, man, whatever. You gave us 4 years, but walk away from here with the Vanderbilt degree. Don't sell yourself short. I mean, nothing against under those other places, but it's not Vanderbilt, and I think that's something that's going can do and serve him well, long term. So that was my only disappointment about maybe a Miles Studi situation, that he doesn't put in all the time and all the effort, go through COVID, go through all the different things that we've gone through here to not, walk away with that degree. Jordan did that, so I'm happy about that, and like I said, I'm hope that he has success other than when we play against them down there and when they come here.
How do you think the USA basketball experience is going to help Ben Lubin?
I think Ben, that was great for him to get selected to that, just confidence. I mean, you're in a group of some of the best of the young talent coming out of high school, as well as, early like freshman type talent. So I just think he's super confident. He's already a confident basketball player, but I just think just now that almost that's a little justification. You may feel it all that you want, but it's always good to get that nod and get those accolades behind it as well. So and I felt a little bit more of a. We had good before he got here with everybody, but you felt just another, bounce in the gym when you get a guy like that can do some of the things that he can do on both ends of the floor, and I just think it breeds confidence throughout everyone. Along with the charisma and leadership of a guy like Ezra. The talent of someone like Tyron, and then you blend in, all these other pieces that we, and then probably, it's like I said, man, our guys get better. Graham Carton's probably had one of the best summers of anybody. I mean, shooting the ball probably. I mean, we track everything. I mean, he's shooting the ball probably at over a 50% clip right now, and and I know he's right ready to tell me, Coach, you say you do what you asked me to do, I can play. So I'm gonna have to find some time for him, because he's doing everything that we've asked him to do. Another guy that I feel like he could have played at another level, but he wanted to come to Vanderbilt, wanted to be a part of this. Family had the capacity to do so. Colson Messler. I mean, just kid that just doesn't look like a freshman walk-on. We don't get that at Vanderbilt too often. but this is a kid that could vie for some minutes. He's trending in that direction. He's understanding what we're doing. He already has a body that's ready to compete and can contribute in the SEC in my mind. So it's just a matter. Most beautiful thing about this thing is we're competing every day, right? There's not a gap in talent, like we've had in the past. And I think that every day you got to come in and compete and fight for minutes. And these guys, they're excited about it. I mean, they come in, they fight hard, and then they hug each other afterwards, and they go spend time. So that's the perfect environment that you want for, college athletics. And I think we've starting to still think there's another level, but I do think that we've definitely improved to where we're maybe a little bit above average now.
How did you find Jason Rivera-Torres, and what was the story on your recruitment with him? Who found him? How did you get in contact with him? All those things.
Yeah, just from a kid that we recruited a few years ago that we lost out on. I got really close with his AAU coach and his high school coach. It's Ty White. He runs Team Loaded Virginia, and he called me like, Stack, I got one for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it works. Like, it's like, then like, okay. But, it's guys that you trust. And then more so than that's a lot of the touch points, man. Just having touch points and relationships with different people, and they reach out and they know that, they know here that they have to have, academic kids. And Stacker got one with great, with a great GPA, come from a great family. You need to come put your eyes on him. Go put our eyes on him, and we like what we see. And it just and we continue to like what we see from him, And so it's just that's how it works, man. For us more so than again, let's go into top 100 camp. We do all the circus. We go see everybody, but more so than anything, it's gonna come from relationships that we have and people that want that's excited about what we're doing and what we're growing and want to be a part of it. So I much rather go after those type of guys who want to be a part of it as opposed to spending a lot of time on long shots. We'll get one here and there, but for the most part, let's get guys that fit our model and can come here and be a part of what we're trying to accomplish.
He said that he gets asked just about every day about his TV thing. That could be a distraction for a lot of kids. Doesn't seem to be with him the way he approaches it. Is that a little bit of a plus because he's already had some, have to deal with the spotlight of being in an SEC program in other ways already?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a part of his path and his journey. I mean, I think if it, kind of detracted from basketball in any way, I think he loves basketball enough to know that that he, he wouldn't allow that to happen. So but I think he's been great with it. We're following him, we're supporting him. I got, I'm back a couple episodes now. I got to catch up on, but no, I think it's cool. It doesn't really rear its heads too much for us. I think the guys, few of the guys call him Nick Mendez, but other than that, we just he just operates, normally like everybody else, man. He's just a great kid, quiet, loves to compete, Again, he's probably saw him. He had a little something on his wrist. That wasn't even from practice. That's just him working out in the gym by himself, going up and dunking, and maybe hit the rim too hard or something like that. So it's just guys are gym rats. So I think that's that's a great thing for us, and a great kind of identity of the guys that we want to have here and be a part of what we're doing.
Do you think with Liam blocking seemed like 5 shots a game last year, and now kind of having a smaller team but maybe more versatility, like do you change what you guys are trying to do on defense, or is it just kind of the same style that you usually do?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've obviously, charges are still a huge part of what we have, getting that low man over there. Lim was a great protector for us, but, Lim was as I don't know if he was a great weak side shot blocker. Lim blocked shots of his own guy. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, he was that, that rim protector, you know, as a back line of the defense, as opposed to, you know, just being a really good, being big. But I think we, you know, Vin can block shots. You know, obviously getting Lee back in the mix too once he's healthy. You know, we saw what he can do. He can put some dents in the backboard with some block shots. And, you know, again, I think the thing about it is, you know, just, you know, taking that to another level, being smarter and being able to control those taps. I mean, it's great. You know, it's great to see him fly out of bounds sometimes, you know what I'm saying, just try to send a message. But I want to get him to the point where, and I think he's smart enough and has enough feel to where he could block those shots and keep them in bound, and they could create some opportunities for us without us having to reset our defense. So I think things like that, you know, JQ, you know, he's athletic enough that I feel like he'll get some shots at the rim. And like I said, Evan, I've seen him block a few jumpers already this summer. So, I mean, I think guys like that, you know, we'll find a way. But to your question, I've been looking at, you know, with the athleticism and the length that we've had, you know, thinking about, you know, some more, you know, full court, three-quarter type things. But, you know, it's like that, you know, the risk rather just being really, really solid in what we've been doing. You know, that's just something that I have to weigh, but I'm definitely intrigued about it. I mean, it's just haven't had that type of length and just natural instincts to make a mistake and recover. You know, we had to be really, really solid and really, really sound. And now what I've seen with this group, that these guys don't have to be perfect and still find a way to use the athleticism to go block a shot or get a steal or just have, you know, great savvy in making plays. But no, it's definitely something to look at. Obviously, our zone, some things that we did with the zone a little bit is exciting. Again, you know, just more athleticism, thinking about sending more guys to the board than we usually do. And but, you know, I think about those things a lot, and then I wake up and I go back to trusting what I know is going to work. And but there is some room to tinker with a few more things this time around.
Who are your player leaders?
Excuse me?
Your player leaders?
My player leaders are, I mean Ezra, you know, I mean he's a leader. Tyron's, you know, a leader. You know, Colin Smith, I mean, I hadn't said much about him. He's probably had one of the best summers. He got a little quad injury. I mean, guys got banged up a little bit, but they had a really good summer in the weight room, but he's come back with sophomore confidence. Him and Paul Lewis both have come back with really, just vocally. I mean, I really wanted to see that from Paul, you know, and then I thought that just watching him encourage and, you know, get on some of the freshmen about some of the things to do just lets me know. And then he's even last year as a freshman, he was always kind of in the right spots, and now, you know, it's even more so. And seeing him and Ez go at it, I mean, I think he maybe deferred to Ez a little bit, you know, last year just because he was a freshman, but now they compete every day. I mean, it's just. It's fun to watch. I was just yesterday, you know, after practice, you're just seeing, you know, Ezra and Tyron just wrestling and grabbing on each other and stuff like that. And that's what we want, man. We found some guys to fall in love with each other, and now we're looking for a few more to fall in love with what we're doing. And I think we got it. You know, it's pretty good. Now it's just see if it can all translate to, you know, having the final score prove it.